What's going on, everybody? We promised you an extended look at the start of the baseball season in our episode with Dansby Swanson, now Chicago Cubs shortstop, which if you haven't listened to that and you just stumbled upon this on YouTube, that's fine too, but make sure you do go watch or listen to the Dansby Swanson episode. But see, we wanted to get a little more into detail on the upcoming baseball season with our season preview. And the first thing we just need to hit is the rules. I think we both have been very bullish on the sport of baseball and the future of baseball for a while now because of the honest look that baseball is taking at itself as an entertainment property. You obviously are in the middle of it, working in the commissioner's office, but we both have felt that way even before you were more hands-on, now with you hands-on. And the rules have made the game so much more livable. The time, yes. The pace, though, has been so much, it just has felt more action-packed. Even broadcasting games, see this spring, completely different cadence for me. Whereas before, when I would do a game, it was mostly storytelling and you just like pit, 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 pit with action. Now it's like, oh, action, and you're just kind of like, dabbling in the storytelling in between the action, which is a big departure from the way things were. And I think a welcome one. It feels to me like it worked exactly as you guys would have hoped in spring, and it makes it all the more exciting going into the start of the regular season now.
Yeah, nah, for sure. I mean, you're right with the cadence, though, and it, like, I'm not even trying to be funny, but, like, if you watch enough baseball of your team, you've heard all the fucking stories from the guys in the booth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've heard every story from literally everybody that's in the booth that's on yes. Like, I don't need to hear any more stories about, like, I love you guys, but like, let's get to the baseball action. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that helps a big amount. You know what I'm saying? So, nah, it's been great to watch games and just watch the pace of the games. Like, you turn on the game an hour into it, you're in the fifth inning now. You know what I'm saying? Where you could have been top of the third. You know what I'm saying? So now I just think it's a lot more easier to digest with with the clock and having the action being in your face. I think the one thing that I like the most, though, is the shift, the no shifting. Like, I was in spring training earlier. I think had to be February. I was there at the end of February. Very first home opener game, Hicksy, so runner on first base. Hicksy hits a ground ball through the hole or like hits it like a chopper. And I'm like, damn, that's a double play. And I'm like, oh, no, it's not. Like, the guy's nobody in short right field anymore. You know what I'm saying? So just, having to reprogram your brain for the balls that you see on the ground that are now going to be like diving plays or now hits. You know what I'm saying? So I think it makes for a lot better for viewing as a fan with these rule changes.
Yeah, I enjoy the shift too. See, the pitching had gotten so dominant. For anyone who hasn't heard Theo Epstein on our pod, go back and listen to that episode. Theo did such an amazing job of breaking down why it had become a problem statistically, historically, the way pitching was just dominating. And see, one of the other things that Theo talked about was how when Major League Baseball would poll its fans, what's most exciting, they would talk about doubles, triples, stolen bases.
Yeah.
And one of the real big differences in the spring with the limited number of pickoff attempt throws, with the bigger bases, is the stolen base attempts were way up. So at the current spring training pace, the stolen base rate projects to be at its highest since the 1980s, when there was 2.27 per game. On average, games have been 25 minutes shorter. They're averaging 239. So you're talking about things that are going to make the pace quicken and also increase the action. What you're talking about with the shift, where there's going to be more athleticism because just not having somebody standing there waiting for a ball to be hit right at them, that obviously is a huge part of it because the defensive positioning had gotten so good that it was in some ways stripping out the athleticism of the infielders. This is going to bring back their athleticism. The stolen base comes back. More hits means more doubles, more triples. Also, maybe the velocity goes down a tick because of the pitch clock and you get more hits overall. You think so, C?
I think the velocity goes down, and I think for anybody that listens to this podcast and say, well, the hitter should be able to do a better job of, hitting the ball the other way and all of that shit. Nobody's ever faced 102. These guys are throwing the ball harder than they've ever thrown. Their sliders are moving at an axis, the spin rate is higher than it's ever been. Like, the pitching is the best it's ever been right now. So I don't want to hear no shit about barrel control and being able to hit the ball the other way. You lucky if these motherfuckers just barrel the ball up. You know what I'm saying? So it's I think the getting rid of the shift is going to be huge for offense and just, getting us more action in the game.
And here's the thing. The way baseball fans are, traditionalists woven into the fabric of their teams, we're going to watch and root and care regardless.
Yep.
But we all now not only get that because it's just in us, we also get increased action, a better viewing product, and probably as a result, an easier time welcoming in the younger fan, bringing along another generation, welcoming in new fans who maybe aren't younger but had fallen away from baseball, then might hear, oh, the action's picked up, the pace is back, and get back into it. I think the point being, nothing about what baseball has done has damaged the integrity of what we all love about the sport. It's only enhancing it. It makes me really excited for this season, see.
And I think, like you said, just to add on, I think for the baseball purists, it's getting back to the game that the boomers loved. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, exactly. Right, the one they saw.
The one that they grew up watching, that's what we're getting back to.
That's a great point, because that's the one that created this loyalty and this, emboldened generation of fans and traditionalists, getting back to what made them traditionalists, even as it has slowly departed without perhaps them noticing. See, one of the other aspects of baseball that's very unique to it is the call-up moment. There's not necessarily an equivalent in other professional sports. Maybe what we saw with Hard Knocks and making a roster, but for the most part, getting the call-up to the big leagues is unique to the big league journey and what you go through in the minor leagues. And seeing some of the scenes that we saw this week with young studs being called up, whether it was Jordan Walker or Anthony Volpe, and the moments they're told in the office, that is the kind of television and theater that is always going to tug at the heart. It was so fun to see, man.
Yeah, it's super cool that, the teams allow that to happen now, It's cool that MLB, sometimes requests for them to, put a camera in there so you can, get the insight behind some of these guys getting called up. But, yeah, it's a unique thing, being told that you made the team or making a team out of spring training because of the minor league journey. There's nothing else in sports like playing in the minor leagues in baseball. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing else like that journey. So, going through that treacherous trek through the minor leagues and then being able to be told that you're going to make the team or, you got called up to the big leagues, it's just such a cool moment. And to be able to have that on video forever, it's super cool. And you saw Volpe go right out and talk to his family right in the dugout after. Our good friend Matt Neimer was there. He's one of his agents. So it was just a super cool moment. I think it's awesome that teams are allowing these kids or, these players to have these moments now because it's something special and unique to baseball because of the journey you have to go through in the minor leagues. You say Hard Knocks and the guy making a roster, but it doesn't really compare because of the trek you have to make in the minor leagues. The minor leagues is brutal, guys. It's hard. No matter how long you got to go for it, it's a journey. It's tough. It's a grind. So, being able to get to make it through that and get called up is awesome.
I also am so excited to see a young kid who grew up a diehard Yankee fan, who grew up a huge Jeter fan, starting at shortstop at 21 years old on opening day in the pinstripes. How cool is that? What a story.
Yeah, it's super dope. You know what I'm saying? And you know how I always say pinstripes are heavy and it's hard to play in New York? It won't be for him because this is what he's wanted his whole life. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what I always say about the kids that get drafted by the Yankees and come up through the organization, whether it's Judge, whether it's Gardy, Posada, all these guys, they are built to be Yankees. You know what I'm saying? You take them out of the Bronx and it's a different thing, but they're built to play for the New York Yankees because this is who they got drafted by. When you bring people in from a different organization, you have to hope that they can acclimate and get used to playing here. That's why it don't work out so much. But when you get homegrown talent and you can bring it up and cultivate it, and you get a captain. You see what Aaron Judge has turned into. So sky's the limit for this kid Volpe. I just don't want you to keep comparing him to Derek Jeter.
Hey man, I'm not comparing him. I'm just saying. I'm not comparing him. I'm just saying he's a huge Jeter fan, and he happens to be 21 years old, starting at shortstop.
That's cool. That's where it is. Stop the shit now.
I am really excited to watch him, though. He just feels like a winning ball player. See, how about just like we're going to get into our awards and World Series prediction in a moment, but one of the big narratives around baseball is the Dodgers, who for years it felt like kept adding and also supplementing with incredible youth. And this year, instead, lost a lot of seemingly key pieces. They also have had a couple of big injuries. Gavin Lux, obviously, the big one. What do you think about the idea that maybe this is the first time in a while that we see the Dodgers not dominating a regular season?
I think that they're going to be right there in the West.
Yeah.
I think with everybody that departed, Dustin May will be back. They got Miguel Rojas to play short. You still got Mookie Betts, who's one of the top 5 players in the league. Chris Taylor is good. Max Muncy should bounce back. That team is fucking good. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they build themselves to win the regular season and not the postseason. So hopefully this year they took a step back and just gonna reevaluate and maybe try to build themselves to win in October. It's not about trying to win 140 games during the summer. Maybe win 95. You know what I'm saying? Win a wild card and then get hot in October. They do. They dominate the regular season so much, and then they go into playoff series as an underdog. Where you like, I don't know. Remember the year like they had to play the Giants in the wild card? You're like, I don't know if they're gonna beat this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes,
teams won all these games in the regular season and they're not built for the playoffs. So hopefully they're taking a step back and reevaluating the way they build this team because shit ain't working, cuz.
Time to change it. All right, let's power through some predictions here, C. Let's start with your AL and NL Rookie of the Year. Do you have a prediction there?
I'm just going to go with the obvious guys. I'm going to go Jordan Walker in the National League. I think Jordan Walker is going to have a big fucking season. That dude is an animal, guys.
Yeah.
Like, he's hit everywhere he's been. And in that lineup, I think he's only going to add when you got Arenado and Goldschmidt and you put him in the middle of that. I think he's going to have a monster year. And then I think for us to be good in the Bronx, Volpe's going to have to be good. And I think by May, he's going to have to be leading up. And if that happens, then that means he's hot. And I think, he's going to win the Rookie of the Year.
I have the same exact predictions, and I couldn't agree more with leading off. I like him leading off. First of all, guy is incredibly fast, an outstanding base stealer, and something about it just feels right. Even in the spring game, seeing him lead off, I like it.
Because that's why it feels right. We don't.
Maybe,
You got Aaron Judge leading off half the year last year. Shit is stupid.
But when DJ's been healthy, he's been a great leadoff man. He just doesn't have the speed.
But I mean, if you have a traditional leadoff hitter, then you can move DJ back to 2.
Yes.
And then you just slide everybody down. You know what I'm saying?
100%. I am with you. I would love to see him hit leadoff. All right, how about AL, NL Cy Young Awards, C?
Man, I'm going to go. You know who I like for the AL Cy Young? Luis Castillo, the kid in Seattle.
Ooh, I like it. Okay.
I think Seattle's going to have a big year. I think Seattle's ready to overtake the Astros in the West.
Okay.
So I think for them to do that, I think that kid's gonna have to have a big year. So he's my AL Cy Young prediction.
And how about, do you have an NL Cy Young prediction?
Man, bro, Sandy's so fucking good, and I just don't see how he doesn't continue to do what he did last year. I don't have anybody. I mean, maybe Corbin Burns can get hot, but he had such a fucked up winter with the arbitration case and all that stuff and being upset with the Brewers. I just don't, it's going to be kind of hard for him to get off to a good start. So I'm going to go Sandy again. I think Sandy's going to repeat.
Okay. All right. Very good. I think I'm going to go Sandy as well in the National League. In the American League, I'm going to go Garrett Cole. I think Garrett Cole is going to he's so steady, durable, knock on wood. Obviously, the load he's going to take on with this rotation is going to be even greater because of the injuries. I think the Yankees are going to have a really good year, and I think that Cole is going to have a really good year, and I think there will be some narrative push of, hold on a second, like this guy needs a Cy Young. He's been so good and so consistent. I think he might get some narrative push in addition to the results. So I'm going to go with Garrett Cole. How about AL and NL MVP, C?
I hadn't thought about this yet.
Can I give you my AL MVP?
Go ahead.
Jose Ramirez. I think
that's a great pick.
You like that?
I do.
I just think the Guardians, this is a guy who just year after year, he's just produces a switch hitter. Amazing consistency. And he is so clearly the man in that Guardians lineup. They overachieved anybody's expectations last year. Looking to build on it this year. He'll be a chief reason why when it comes to the offense. We know they've always been able to pitch. I like him as the AL MVP this year.
I like that. You know who I think the AL MVP is going to be Mike Trout, Tess.
Wow. Okay.
I think it's going to be Mike Trout. I think Trouty is out to prove that he's the best in the game again. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people have been putting Shohei over him on his own team, me included. You know what I'm saying? So I think this would be Trout's year to come back and like this would be solidify him as one of the best baseball players of our generation if he can win an MVP this late. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I want to go with him, and I want to go with Soto, Juan Soto.
Ooh, okay.
MVP. I think the Padres are going to have a good year. They are primed and ready to be really good and fucking make a run at the World Series. So I think it's going to be Juan Soto. I think it took him a while to settle in after the trade last year, and but I think he'll have a big year this year.
I'm going Trey Turner for National League MVP.
Trey Turner might have blew his load in the fucking WBC.
In the WBC, he might have, man. He might have. That's true. It was unbelievable. How about your World Series prediction, C?
I got the Padres. I think it's going to be the Padres. I think the Padres and the Yankees will be in the World Series. I think in the ALCS it's going to be I think it'll be the Yankees and Mariners.
Ooh, okay.
And I think it'll be the Padres and the Braves. And the Braves and the Yankees. I mean, the Padres and the Yankees, and I think the Padres. I like the Padres.
All right. I'm going to go Yankees-Phillies. So we both have World Series rematches, and I'll have the Yankees winning it all. Yankees-Phillies 09, Yankees-Padres 98. We will see what comes of it. So excited for the start of this season, man. It is going to be an absolute blast. Enjoy opening day. And to our audience, enjoy opening day.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's going to be a great baseball season. I think it's going to be a season that sets us up, for a different game for the rest of our lives. So I think it's going to transform the game. I think it's going to be for the better, and I'm excited for it.
Amen. Cannot wait. Enjoy it, everybody. Happy opening day, and thanks for catching some R2C2 exclusive YouTube content.